Whether the Unitarian Church of Evanston is your spiritual home, or you are seeking comfort and connection in uncertain times, we are grateful you are with us. We are an inclusive and welcoming community seeking truth and love and striving to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us matters and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. Together, let us remember our oneness, our kinship with one another, and may we hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention. There are many links of connection in the comments section, including credits for the readings and music, to virtual religious education, for donations, and to be added to our email newsletter list. Welcome to this morning's service, our celebration through readings and music of the lights and moments of stillness of Chalica, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas. I'm Vickie Hellyer, the Director of Music at UCE, and this is the online version of a Holidays music service. The singers have recorded 3 virtual choir videos, and our soloists recorded a 4th. Those of you who know what's involved with such things know what a feat that is for the singers, for Gregory, for myself, and especially for Adam. Also, today's readers are people who currently sing or have in the past sung in the UCE choir. I'm grateful to all who have contributed to this service, and grateful to Eileen for her input throughout the process of putting the service together. And now, Eileen will share with you our announcements for this morning.
Good morning, friends. I'm so delighted to be with you today. The all-church Zoom meeting will be on Wednesdays, as usual, at 5:30, and we'll send a reminder email in the early afternoon on Wednesday with the link. We really hope that anyone comes and joins us. It's a really wonderful time of connection and wonderment. And we'll hold a virtual coffee and conversation time after this service until about 1 o'clock on Zoom. You can find the link to that coffee and conversation time in the information in the comment section below. Deck the tree with lights and all between December 14th, that's tomorrow, and New Year's, as well as at the Solstice Campfire this Saturday. All ages are invited to add a decoration to the tree, the deciduous tree, off of the parking lot at UCE. It's the one by the bench facing Greenwood Avenue. Bring a weather-resistant ornament, or you can make something edible for the birds with popcorn or berries or nuts to hang on the tree. You will find a container with hooks and pieces of yarn on the bench to use as hangers. Help us make this a beautiful new celebration. Next Sunday is our virtual Christmas pageant, and you can still sign up to be a star or a shepherd or an animal. Truly, the more will be, the merrier. So join us. And our Christmas Eve service will be on the 24th at 7 p.m. You can find that link on the UCE website and from our newsletter. And now I invite you to get your chalices ready, set a place for yourself and your family as we join in beloved community. We open our worship with this reading by David Breeden, read by Diane Markel.
We open our worship with this reading by David Breeden. In this holiday season, may the darkness of winter be dispelled in this festival of lights. And may the darkness of ignorance be dispelled in the strength of compassion, reason, and sharing.
Unitarian Universalism draws from many sources and many traditions, including our own Christian and Jewish roots. And so we celebrate and honor this season leading into Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa. It can sometimes feel as though we only borrow from other traditions, and we don't create authentic traditions that reflect our own values as we actually live them. In 2005, Chalica was born out of a conversation about this with a group of young UU adults and seminarian Daleen Marshall at the Vancouver School of Theology. Chalica begins the first Monday in December, so it actually began last Monday and ends today, the 7th day. Each day during Chalica, those participating are invited to light a candle and reflect on each of the 7 UU principles in turn. How does this principle have meaning in your life? How do you think about it? How do you live it? What action can you take that relates to the principle? On this, the 7th day of Chalica, we reflect on the 7th principle, the interconnected web of existence, with this song by Jim Scott.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined, like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of life long past that touch our own are written in the earth, ever giving, and now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living, for the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined. Vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing.
Ellie Fedderson, Diane Markel, and Donna Schiller light the chalice in northern Illinois on the traditional homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes, such as the Miami, Menominee, Ho-Chunk, Sac, and Fox, also call this area home. We name these in honor and respect. Please join in saying these words from Congregation Beth El in Sudbury, Massachusetts. We light this chalice as we gather in the chill of the holiday season, finding warmth from each other, nourishing faith where reason fails. Grateful for small miracles, we rejoice in the wonder of light and darkness and the daring of hope.
Please join in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
My name is Annette Wallace. We draw the summary of Kwanzaa from Russ Kavaluna, president of Henry Ford College. Starting Saturday, December 26th, and concluding January 1st, millions of individuals and families worldwide will celebrate the holiday of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a holiday that celebrates family, community, and culture. The holiday was created by Dr. Maulana Karenga in 1966. Dr. Karenga is professor and chair of Africana Studies at California State University, executive director of the Kawaida Institute of Pan-African Studies, and chairman of the organization US. The holiday focuses on what it means to be African and human in the fullest sense. Dr. Karenga created the holiday to engage the world in understanding certain Afrocentric cultural traditions, the dignity of every person, the centrality of family and community, and the integrity of the environment and humans' kinship with it. Kwanzaa is a community-oriented celebration that focuses on all aspects of the family, including those who are present and those in the ancestral realm. No one is left out. The 7 days of Kwanzaa are a time of celebration, meditation, and recommitment. They focus on the Nguzo Saba, or 7 principles. The Nguzo Saba, or 7 principles of Kwanzaa are umoja, or unity, balance among oneself and one's community, nation, race, and the broader world. Kuchichagulia, or self-determination, that one may define themselves for themselves. Ujima, or collective work and responsibility, that one's successes are shared throughout the community and vice versa. Ujamaya, or cooperative economics, sharing what one has with others to benefit everyone. Nia, or purpose, self-reflection in actions and meaning. Kuumba, or creativity expressed in art, work, thoughts, and arts. Imani, or faith, one's tradition and beliefs in confluence with one's ancestors and elders.
When all the peoples on this earth know deep inside their precious worth, when every single soul is free, we'll earn the name humanity. The choice to be the best we can begins the day we say I am. The unity for which we sigh will never come through hate or lie. The lights of Kwanzaa now proclaim that when we share our inner flame and nurture roots rich with pride. We'll harvest peace both far and wide.
These are the joys and sorrows that have been submitted this morning through the Google form found on our homepage on our website. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you want to share, you can do so through our website, or you can send an email to me or to Reverend Susan Francis. From Amy Staton, the Reverend Ed Townley passed away from COVID-19. He was the former senior minister at Unity in Chicago several years ago. He was an amazing speaker and had a wealth of knowledge about Aramaic culture and history. Marlene MacArthur writes, grateful for my new job that I started Monday, the 14th. I've been looking since March, thanks to my daughter Leah's boyfriend who found it for me. Ending this hellish year on a good note. New year, new job. Congratulations. Sad news from Nancy Lee and Nancy Owens. Our beautiful 13-year-old standard poodle, Sweet Oliver, passed away naturally this week at home in his own bed. Many of us remember him helping himself to stuffed animals from the rummage sale children's department. His spirit will always be with us. So sorry, Nancy and Nancy. From Kristen Larson, Craig is back in the hospital and he is stable and feeling fine. Friday, he suffered a tachycardia event at home. All the bells and whistles went off on his device due to low blood flow. And after 2 hours talking with his care team on the phone, administering various therapies, we called 911. He was taken by ambulance to Northwestern. The event was not critical in that he won't arrest because the pump will keep blood flowing. But when this happens, he is terribly unwell, unable to be moved, and at risk for further damage to his heart. He's still having short episodes, and they are adjusting his meds. If meds don't resolve the issue, they will look at a procedure that cuts his cardiac parasympathetic nerves. A heart transplant is the last resort, but he is still not strong enough for the surgery. Please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. We will, Kristen and Craig, we are thinking of you and sending you love and healing thoughts. We know that these are not the only joys and sorrows that are on our hearts and on our minds. So we take a moment of quiet now to read to ourselves the joys and sorrows that have been added to the chat. We hold these together in care and tenderness. And I invite you to say aloud from wherever you are the names of those who you are holding in your heart, those who are sick or who have died, those who are mourning and feeling loss. We hold all of these, as well as the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken, because together we expand our celebrations and we lessen the burden of our grief. You to join me now in the spirit of prayer and meditation. This prayer was written by Reverend Samuel Trumbore. Let us turn inward now. Feel the rhythm of the breath, in and out, in and out. Find the peace of just being with the flow of the breath, letting go of yesterday and tomorrow. Feel the restorative power of the peace of this moment. A peace large enough to open to the concerns and sorrows that trouble us. A stillness quiet enough to respond to the joys and celebrations that enliven us. There is safety here in the rhythm of the breath, the ebb and flow of life. Taking in oxygen sustenance, letting go of carbon dioxide waste, taking in the fullness of experience, letting go the residue that wants to cling to us. Dedicated to cultivating the spirit of life, dedicated to being a beacon of love for all beings. Amen.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. But light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, that anger won't tear us apart. And light one candle to bring us together with peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly? We keep it alive in that flame. What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? Have we come this far, always believing that justice would somehow prevail? And this is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears.
Deep in his soul, he began to feel the need of being a Jew. Hitherto, He had permitted to pass by unobserved the holiday which the wonderful apparition of the Maccabees had illumined for thousands of years with the glow of miniature lights. Now, however, he made this holiday an opportunity to prepare something beautiful, which should be forever commemorated in the minds of his children. In their young souls should be implanted early a steadfast devotion to their ancient people. He bought a menorah, and when he held this 9-branched candlestick in his hands for the first time, a strange mood came over him. In his father's house also, the lights had once burned in his youth, now far away, and the recollection gave him a sad and tender feeling for home. The tradition was neither cold nor dead, thus it had passed through the ages, one light kindling another. Moreover, the ancient form of the menorah had excited his interest. When was the primitive structure of this candlestick fashioned? Clearly, the design was suggested by the tree. In the center, the sturdy trunk. On right and left, 4 branches, one below the other, in one plane, and all of equal height. A later symbolism brought with it the 9th branch, which projects in front and functions as a servant. What mystery had the generations which followed one another read into this form of art, at once so simple and natural? And he wondered to himself if it were not possible to animate again the withered form of the menorah, to water its roots as one would a tree. The mere sound of the name gave him great pleasure. There was a lovable ring to the word when it came from the lips of his little children. On the first night, the candle was lit and the origin of the holiday explained. The wonderful incident of the lights that strangely remained burning so long, the story of the return from the Babylonian exile, the Second Temple, the Maccabees. Our friend told his children all he knew. When the second candle was lit, they repeated what he had told them. And though it had all been learned from him, it seemed to him quite new and beautiful. In the days that followed, he waited keenly for the evening, which became ever brighter. Candle after candle stood in the menorah. The week passed. Then came the 8th day when the whole row burns, even the faithful 9th, the servant, which on other nights is used only for the lighting of the others. A great splendor streamed from the menorah. The children's eyes glistened. But for our friend, all this was the symbol of the enkindling of a nation. When there is but one light, all is still dark, and the solitary light looks melancholy. Soon it finds one companion, then another, and another. The darkness must retreat. The light comes first to the young and the poor. Then others join them who love justice, truth, liberty, progress, humanity, and beauty. When all the candles burn, then we must all stand and rejoice over the achievements. And no office can be more blessed than that of a servant of the light.
Israel horai tavaku shabariku chadu. Israel horai tavaku shabariku chadu.
In the lonely midnight on the wintry hill, shepherds heard the angels singing peace, goodwill. Listen, all ye weary, to the angels' song. Unto you the tidings of great joy belong.
Please join me in our responsive reading, Mysteries and Miracles. You'll be reading the italicized words along with Peggy Bocart. A planet is born. A spark ignites. Something completely new comes into being.
We give thanks for the mystery and miracle of life.
The stars pierce our hearts. Peace envelops us. We are blessed.
We give thanks for the mystery and miracle of wonder.
In our aloneness, we see someone in greater need and offer ourselves to them.
We give thanks for the mystery and miracle of compassion.
We gather in community, in relationship, in friendship, and cherish each other.
We give thanks for the mystery and miracle of love.
Star of wonder in
Thank you. UCE remains a vital part of the world and our community, and because we continue to need one another in the blessings of community, we take this time to invite you to give to our shared plate. Today's offering will be shared with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, which is our UU social justice service organization providing disaster relief and promoting human rights and social justice around the world. You can read more about the important and life-saving work of UUSC and become a member at their website, uusc.org. You can text to give, send in a check, or give from our website. If you do send in a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering, for your pledge, capital campaign, or some other type of giving. Please give as generously as you're able, and may what you give bring you joy.
This year, you may be wondering about the carbon equation of a Christmas tree. You may have replaced the old incandescent Christmas lights and their crazed, fragile bulbs with strands of LEDs that turn from green to blue. You may have given each other newly planted trees on the edge of the rainforest, or traded the promise of future services with your friends. This may be the Christmas when you wonder, or are forced to find out, just how much of the material Christmas you can leave behind. It may be the one that redefines Christmas entirely, for better or worse. If you look back at the photos of Christmas 50 years ago, not that long a time, really, you can see what a simple place it once was. What you wanted for Christmas was a very short list of possibilities, and what you got was usually the single most possible thing on the list, plus a few of the articles your mother thought you needed. The intent was the same as it is now, more or less, but the means were so much fewer. You may be finding a way to a new and simpler Christmas this year, but that was once the usual kind of Christmas. What it comes down to, perhaps, is saving Christmas from the idea that Christmas will save us, that the shopping we do this season will keep the economy afloat, or give us the buoyancy we need for the coming year. But really, Christmas needs no saving. It does not exist apart from what we make of it. And on its own, it cannot save us, though it contains the gestures of generosity and thankfulness that are halfway to being a better person, a richer community. Christmas is all the better for being a simple place, nothing more, perhaps, than two red cardinals against the backdrop of a snowy field. They are there every day. The only difference is that today it feels like Christmas.
Whose foes these are, I think I know. His house is in the village low. He will not see me stopping here to watch his wounds fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year.
One of the great things about Christmas is that it is a sturdy holiday. Christmas doesn't wimp out when times are hard. It comes anyway, even when there are hardly any presents, even when there isn't much food to make a feast with. Even if you're sad, even if the world around you is at war, even if you are living in fear and danger and oppression, Christmas still comes. And when it comes, Christmas is subversive. Christmas, with its story of an unwed mother and a doubtful father, with its legend of a helpless baby born in a stable who was worshipped by some of the wisest, richest men in the world, with its tale of the child pursued by the deadly wrath of kings who escaped as a refugee to a foreign land far from home. Do not underestimate the power of the manger with the hope it holds. The Christmas song of the angels is not as innocent as it sounds. It has turned the world upside down before now. It still can. Christmas, with its ancient, enduring summons of peace on earth, goodwill to all people everywhere. You can't stop a day like that with a little hardship or greed or injustice. It will show up anyway, shining the light of a midnight star into the darkest places of our collective lives.
There will be rest and sure stars.
of a dream in my lonely mind. I shall find the crystal of peace above me, above me. Stars I shall find, stars I shall find. There will be rest, shoes stars shining. There will be rest, and shoes stars shining over the rooftops crowned with snow. A rain of rest, sweet forgetting, the music of stillness. Holy and low. Stars I shall find.
As we extinguish the chalice, please join in saying these words. Though the flame is extinguished, we carry with us the warmth of community, the light of truth, and the fire of commitment, until we are together again.
As we go through this holiday season, may we take solace from the grace of the world. Pause for a moment to look for stars and to listen to breezes moving past your ears. And may our spirits brighten with the lights, the attempts to turn the darkness into wonder. May we hear the message that love is born somewhere, every minute of every day. Somewhere, breaking through the distressing world and offering hope. May that hope light us through the year to come.